Okay folks, so I'm making this video because everybody thinks they can run French fryer oil, deep fryer oil, or vegetable oil in their diesels. Well, you can, and it might even seem to have a little more power than your regular diesel fuel, depending on what grade you run, whatever, for a while, but the end result, I guarantee you, is not worth the overall price. This vehicle was run with deep fryer oil in it, and the previous owner, you're supposed to boil it down with soap and water to break down the glycerides and everything, and stuff like that, which does help and prevents problems, but not completely. It just prolongs the problems that build up. Just like our arteries, glycerides build up in our arteries and clog our heart passes. Well, it does the same thing to a diesel line. This is a 92 Ford F250 7.3 IDI, and actually it doesn't matter what make or model diesel it is. It's a diesel, and this is what I got out of the return lines. I don't know how well you can see that, but it looks like plastic, degraded leaves, whatever. But it's what the vegetable oil French fryer grease / does to your lines, and actually see a piece of a seal in there. Oh boy, I wonder where that came from. Not good. A little piece of an O-ring seal in there. But anyhow, this is the clean diesel I got out of it, and have already dropped that tank and spent 3 days cleaning it out, of which I was literally scraping what looked like bacon, an inch of bacon grease off the bottom of it. And thankfully there was water in it, because the water got under the bacon grease, which lifted it up and had made it rather easy to remove. And what was caked around the edges, after rinsing thoroughly with water and vacuuming the fumes out, I used a weed burner and literally burnt the rest of the crap out of it, and then again cleaned all the ash out with a vacuum cleaner, wire brush, clean gravel, you name it. Anyhow, the inside of the tank looks like new now. But long story short, it wasn't filtered and or refined properly, and it was going through filters. I'd say about a filter a month, and pretty soon tank number 2 just quit altogether. And then I ended up chasing down the return lines because I couldn't get the pump to prime, and that's because the return line was clogged, which equalizes the pressure inside the pump and won't allow the pistons inside the pump to open and close to go from low pressure to high pressure, because pressures are equalized. Anyhow, that's a whole nother long story you can find on YouTube. And this is in the return line. That means that crap came through the filter, came through the Wix filters and stock motorcraft filters that we all like to run. That's not even, I think he may have used a few China crap filters, because they're getting so expensive at $30 a pop. And anyhow, I hope this hasn't ruined my injector pump. Like I said, I wasn't able to get it primed. I'm hoping this is the reason. And I have switched. I just switched from the manual fuel pump to electronic lift pump, and hope for the best. Thankfully, he never put any into tank number 1, and so those lines were all good and clean. So was the tank, and that didn't have to mess with it. But yeah, what a mess. Not worth the bacon grease. Y'all have fun now. Hope this helps and learns you something, because it is so not worth it. And also, if this doesn't fix my problem before I go buying another injector pump, there is a screen. Now, I was warned about taking it apart on the truck, although you can do so. But oh good, camera can see pretty good. There is a screen inside where the main fuel line comes in, there's a screen, the second nut in. You take the line completely off, and then there's another nut, second nut down there you pull out. But apparently you need a mirror and some tweezers, and there's a bunch of parts that come out with the screen. So that may be my problem as well. Hopefully not the pump, those are expensive. But they say to take the pump off the truck if you've never done it before, because putting the pieces back in can be a little tricky unless you've done it before and you know what you're doing. But I'm going through all this. I mean, the truck was running fine. I shut it off just to do the tank and put a new fuel pump on it, and it wouldn't start again. I couldn't get it to prime, and I was cracking the injector lines loose and doing everything I know how to do. And well, you learn something with every time you work on something. I don't care how experienced you are, how knowledgeable you are. Everything mechanical, there's always something. There's always that one bolt that breaks, right guys? Alright, you guys have a good day. Bye bye.